TreVeyon Henderson is one of the more explosive running backs coming out of this year's draft, bringing a dynamic blend of speed, vision, and playmaking ability. His patient running style, coupled with great vision and burst through holes, has made him one of college football's most electrifying players during his time with the Buckeyes. With 0 career fumbles and 666 touches, Henderson should get the green light from scouts. After his dominant rookie season, he struggled to stay healthy as Ohio State's RB1, but the addition of Quinshon Judkins in his final year helped him stay fresh. A rotation-based role should help preserve his durability in the NFL. Henderson is a game-changing player who can make a significant impact for an NFL team. So let's analyze his abilities and see what this player is all about. So when you're taking a look at TreVeyon Henderson, we have a player who stands at 5'10" and weighs around 208 pounds. His accolades speaks volumes. 2023 first-team All-Big Ten, 2021 freshman All-American, and he was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. His track background was impressive, running a personal best of a 10.94 in a 100-meter dash, which shows in his blazing speed on the field. As a potential 3-down back who excels in zone and gap schemes, Henderson has all the tools to be a problem in the NFL. So on this play here, Henderson showcases his home run ability. Having a player who can take it the distance on any given rep makes it easier for the entire offense, keeping a playbook wide open. You'll see him slice through the gridiron, quickly find a way to get to the sideline where he's off to the races. And this is exactly what you want to see from your top running back. So we'll go ahead and rock with it. So locking on this play here, watching him firing off the ball, just using his eyes and being patient is so important when you're a patient running back in the NFL. With this type of player, he has the athleticism to get away from a lot of these defenders. Usually when he does see it, he has enough speed to be able to kick it to another gear. And when you're going up against an athlete that's running a 4-3, you have to play disciplined ball. If you're a player on a defense and you're having those missing tackles in the open field, he will give these defensive coordinators nightmares, breaking on the sideline and scoring a touchdown. And you can just see the energy when it comes down to this running back. Not only him, Quinshon Judkins was another running back on the team that brought that energy as well. And he's the kind of athlete where he's going to be making a lot of plays, even if the plays look like they're not there. But if he can be able to get with a dominant offensive line, it can allow this player to take that next step even more. And watching this player's film, he gives me Jahmyr Gibbs kind of energy just by him being slippery and getting away from these defenders, on top of having top-notch speed. But seeing him going out there and using his eyes well and kicking it into that next gear and scoring a touchdown was great to see by Henderson. Check out Henderson's blocking skills here. He absolutely destroys this blitzing linebacker who's gunning for the quarterback. Talk about perfect timing. This defender probably wished he picked a different gap to go through, but it's good to see a running back going out there and getting his hands dirty in pass protection. And sometimes that can be one of the bigger reasons why you can get a lot of burn on the field, finding ways to be able to do it all. So we'll go ahead and split it. So running this play here, you see the linebackers on the move. Henderson steps up and delivers a big blow, completely flatlining this defender and removing him out the play. These are the things we love to see when it comes down to that running back position. You don't usually see this kind of physicality when it comes down to that position. So these scouts, they have to pay attention to it. There will be a ton of NFL teams once he gets to the league that's going to be doing wicked stunts. So he's going to have to be on top of it. And usually when you can be physical like this, that linebacker is going to think twice if he comes blitzing like that again. That's why I always say when you can be able to deliver those kind of big hits, once you get to the fourth quarter, you're running in between the tackles. Those linebackers do remember those kind of plays. So continuing to be physical in that fourth quarter, that's how you close out games. But to see him step up and deliver that big hit and giving that quarterback time to get off the throw was fireworks. And that kind of physicality is contagious. It gets the whole entire team hyped. So another solid play by the running back, going out there and laying the body on these defenders. Now, it won't be perfect when it comes down to his blocking. Sometime when he engages in contact, his hands land on the outside, giving defenders an opportunity to break free. So locking on this play here, both running backs are on the field with Henderson leading the way. But seeing him engaging in contact, you see where he placed his hands on the outside. The defender has his hands inside, and it was easy for him to be able to get away, stopping Quinshon Judkins from being able to gain more yards. And every single yard matters when it comes down to the game of football. So you have to get to the technique things when it comes down to blocking. You will see a lot of plays where he's stepping up and being physical, laying out these blitzing defenders, but then you'll see plays where he needs to get better at his technique and hand placement. But the good thing is, it could be coached. You do see this player's effort, and that's always a good start. But making sure he's attacking these defenders and keeping his hands inside, I'm sure that's something that the running back coaches will work on when it comes down to this athlete. Here's a play where Henderson demonstrates his quick decision-making ability. He was initially running into a crowded A-gap, but he swiftly bounces outside, using his smooth footwork and jukes to create extra yardage, and turning what could have been a negative play into a positive gain. So let's run it. So zooming in on Henderson, they're running a draw play, but looking at that offensive line, if he stayed there too long, those defenders would have had enough time to be able to close in on him. So he saw that there was no room, and he made a quick decision, using juke moves and hezzy fakes to catch these guys off guard. And you do see these two defenders, he sees that out of his peripheral vision, so he cuts to the outside, kicks it into another gear, and he slices it inside for about 4 or 5 or more yards. And these are the details that matter when you're evaluating that running back position. We got to see these athletes' behaviors on the field and study what they can potentially do for our team at the next level. But one thing that really stands out from this player versus everybody else in this draft, you see a ton of skill set on one rep. The vision, the patience, the ability to use hezzy fakes, speed. He's doing it all, and it's good to be able to break this kind of athlete down. And when you do have those athletes that can make something out of nothing on some of these reps, this is how you keep those defensive coordinators up at night. So this ended up being another dominating rep by TreVeyon Henderson, going out there and using his vision and getting busy. Here's a rep where Henderson demonstrates that he can be reliable in the passing game, particularly on screens, dump balls, and wheel routes. Many NFL teams heavily utilize running backs in their passing game, so this adds another valuable dimension to his skill set. With his athleticism, getting him to the perimeter and forcing one-on-one matchups in space is something offensive coordinators will likely exploit wherever he lands. So we'll go ahead and run it. So locking on this play here, you see that he's taking off in the flats. He catches the ball. The good thing about this player, he does have the ability to be consistent as far as catching the ball, finding ways to be able to get into the perimeter and making moves. Now, I'm not saying that he is one of the better route runners as far as the running back position. They only allowed him to do wheel routes and catching balls out of the flats. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can do it at the next level. But with Quinshon Judkins, I saw that he was running more routes as far as the film. But as far as these NFL coordinators, with this player's athleticism, it is imperative to get this guy the ball early and often. But showing that you can be utilized in a screen game, catching those flats, as well as those wheel routes, that is one of the ingredients if he's going to be a 3-down back. Henderson has some of the best cutting ability in this draft class. The way he cuts and moves is downright nasty, leaving defenders looking silly out there. You'll see him being super patient, waiting for his blockers to do their thing, and then boom, he spots the perfect gap and hits it. What's really impressive is how he transitions from full speed to completely changing direction effortlessly. He takes this one all the way to the house again, showing exactly why he's such a nightmare for defenses. So we'll go ahead and spin it. So looking at this play here, just watching the movements from Henderson, looking at that counter play out of the shotgun position, getting the ball, downloading the defense, and completely leaving these two guys on skates, cutting on a dime and scoring a touchdown. And seeing him in 2024 being used in inside zone, running these counter plays, crack tosses, they were doing a little bit of everything when it came down to this offense this year. And it brought the best out of Quinshon Judkins as well as TreVeyon Henderson. But to see Henderson's cutting ability, his change of direction skills, with these linebackers, they're very stiff. So going up against them as well as these safeties, it's going to be a thing to watch once he gets to the second level. So being a player with that flash type of ability and speed is going to make a difference in the league. If this player can stay healthy, I'm sure he's going to be making a ton of highlight plays on Sundays, going out there and making a difference when it matters most. So on this final play here, Henderson showcases his vision and delivers a powerful stiff arm to shake off a would-be tackler. Then he evades another defender to score yet another touchdown. When you have a player who can make sudden moves and potentially score on any given play, it makes a world of difference for your team. So let's run it. So looking at this play here, the wide receiver, he's motioning to the left. They give him the pitch play out of the shotgun. He cuts inside and reads it, engages with that defender, and gives him a quick stiff arm. And the good thing is, not only does he make these plays, but Quinshawn has a history of doing this as well. Going up against this last defender, slipping through that would-be tackle, and getting back to the end zone. And seeing this player throughout his career, what he did his freshman year was absolute fireworks. Now, he did have shaky years in year 2 as well as 3 as far as his injuries. So if it came down to my decision, I would want to bring this player in, but have somebody else come in there with him. He could potentially be a workhorse running back, but I think that if there's another guy with him, it'll bring the best out of him, keeping this player fresh for all 4 quarters. But seeing him using that stiff arm and making another big time play, this is exactly why there are talks out there of this player getting picked in the end of the first round, because he has definitely earned it. So it's going to be good to see how it all plays out with Henderson. One thing I love about these football players is, do they have the ability to play other sports? And hearing that this player is a former track athlete is something that these scouts need to pay attention to. Showing that he can be a good blocker, he can run in between the tackles, he can catch the ball and get busy in the perimeter. The list goes on and on of what this player could potentially do. And seeing this entire running back class, there are a plethora of running backs that I got to break down. So I am excited to get to it. So comment below and let me know what you guys think about Henderson, and who else do y'all want me to break down just like this video. So make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because the way the YouTube algorithm works, if you don't hit it, you'll miss out on fire updates and the best football film sessions on YouTube. All right, football family, talk to y'all soon. Gone.